Welcome everyone to the TIPS Virtual Fall Fundraising event, investing in our next generation of leaders. I'm Caitlin Lamoria.
And I'm Ryan Fee. Today we're excited to be leading through TIPS' second ever all-virtual event as your intern co-hosts. Before we get started though, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank TIPS' presenting sponsor today, DLA Piper.
As many of you know, TIPS provides paid internships to teens at nonprofit organizations. This past summer, Ryan and I had the opportunity to take part in this program and serve our community at a time when it needed it most. I interned with Trailleaf Coffee Home, their mission to build bridges between youth and offer a mentorship through their welcoming coffee home space.
This summer, I had the opportunity to intern with Hunger Intervention Program, an organization based in Lake City, Seattle that works to alleviate food insecurity in North King County. In 2021, 43 TIPS interns worked at 36 organizations located in and around the Puget Sound area, including youth mentorship, elderly services, the arts, food security, and many other exciting service areas. It is our sincere hope and wish today that you come to understand how important it is for teens like us to have these internship experiences in order for us to learn how to serve those around us and help our communities. If you would like to show your support for TIPS at any point during this program, please do so by visiting the donation links found in the video description below.
And throughout the program, we will also be sharing links on how to get involved and support TIPS using the chat feature. We encourage you to connect with TIPS partners and supporters in the chat as well. Again, thank you all so much for joining us today. Sit tight and watch as we hear from interns, alumni, TIPS executive director, and board members about how you can invest in young leaders like Ryan and myself.
First up, we'd like to introduce the chair of TIPS' board of directors, Joe Brotherton, who will be delivering his welcome remarks on TIPS interns, supporters, and community.
Welcome everyone and happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm a month early, but I want to begin by giving thanks. As TIPS has grown, our fundraising has evolved under our board leadership, and specifically the work of board member Mark Hoffman. As a direct result of Mark's efforts, we have some wonderful sponsors this year. So as Shakespeare said, the first thing we do, let's thank all the lawyers. I begin by thanking DLA Piper, our first ever presenting sponsor. Their very substantial support and sponsorship has had a transformational impact on our event today. I'd also like to thank Perkins Coie, our public service champion sponsor, who has been with us for many years in many capacities. We appreciate their consistent and substantial support. There are many other sponsors, corporations, foundations, and individuals. I am pleased to say they are too numerous to list. But let's acknowledge one special category, the many interns, TIPS alumni, who, along with their family and friends, are now financial supporters of TIPS. They know firsthand how well TIPS works. I'm just completing my term as chairman of this board, and it has been a pleasure. If I were a politician, I might ask you to listen to all of the things I've accomplished, and in fact, there has been great progress. But it begins and ends not with me, but with our wonderful nonprofit partners who serve our community on the front lines in so many ways. Next comes our outstanding young interns, the best and the brightest young future leaders. They are led by our very accomplished staff, supported by a long list of donors, and directed by our board of directors. So you can see that being chairman of this board puts me not at the beginning, but at the end of a long list of public-minded individuals who have taken TIPS to great heights. This year, turning lemons into lemonade, Teens in Public Service has taken advantage of the challenging atmosphere and environment in which we have all operated for the last 20 months or so. In addition to fulfilling our mission while adjusting to current realities and dealing with uncertainty, TIPS continued to fine-tune the model. We will come out of this pandemic more efficient and more effective than we were in the good old days. This summer was great in that we were able to take advantage of a brief respite in the pandemic and operate a hybrid model, which included many in-person experiences. I'm sorry that we're not all in the same room today, but the most important interactions, in-person interactions, have already occurred. Those were the interactions between our interns and the recipients of their charitable efforts. When I turn the gavel over to a successor, I will do so with confidence that TIPS as an organization is on strong footing. However, the pandemic impact was real. We made up ground last year, but we remain behind on our growth goals. With your help, we hope and expect to set new records in the next year in terms of both size and impact. We have some catching up to do, and I am confident that we will do so. I hope you will join me in investing in our youth and community. Although I was taught that pride is a sin, I can share with you that I am proud of my association with Teens in Public Service, my longtime association, and I share that pride with you. Each of you should be proud to be affiliated with TIPS. If you have supported us financially, if you have served as an intern, worked on the staff, served on the board, acted as an interviewer, or simply helped us tell our story, you should be proud of the success that you have helped to create. And we know that success for an organization like TIPS really means that a great number of people in need were directly aided by our efforts. So, Tia Heim and Maureen Brotherton, I thank you two co-founders for creating a great concept over 2 decades ago, developing a plan and implementing almost flawlessly. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the program.
As a thank you to our incredible viewers today, we are offering a prize drawing open to anyone watching our event live. Our prizes include a weekend stay at Doe Bay, 2 tickets to a Seahawks game, and a weekend stay at Semiahmoo. The link to enter this drawing is now posted in the chat. Please follow the link and fill out the form to be included in the random prize drawing. Awardees will be selected and notified via email after the event. And don't worry if you missed the chance on the link the first time. We'll have one more opportunity later in the program for you to enter. At my internship, one of my favorite tasks was getting to spread the word about my nonprofit, Trail Youth, on social media. We'd now like to share a highlight reel of intern social media takeovers, where interns shared a day in the life at their nonprofit.
Everyone, it's Jasmine. I just wanted to show you what my workspace looks like here at Southwest Youth and Family Services as an intern. Okay, so coming outside, this is the classroom that we work in. We only come here on in-person days, which is Monday and Wednesday. Currently, we're making cards for the end of our program, just to give the students something. So here are my cards. And then here's Rosalba, my supervisor. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what our workspace looks like.
So I work in the Living Future accreditation sector of ILFI. In addition to certifications, ILFI offers courses on the various components that play into what makes a self-sufficient and ecologically friendly building.
Months before I applied to TIPS, I had the opportunity to meet a TIPS staff member at a career and resource fair hosted by Young Executives of Color, a high school outreach program sponsored by the University of Washington's Foster School of Business. I was one of several interns who was first introduced to TIPS through a community partnership. Every year, TIPS partners with local organizations to communicate valuable information about the TIPS program and application to teens like Caitlin and I. We would like to especially thank Young Executives of Color, Rainier Scholars, Treehouse, Summer Search, and Community for Youth for amplifying the TIPS program and encouraging community-minded teens like us to apply to TIPS and make a difference at our nonprofit placements. With this in mind, I'd like to introduce one such community partner whose work with TIPS for the last 20 years has allowed them to see firsthand the impact that TIPS interns have on their community.
Hello, my name is Bavette Irvis, and I am the Senior Director of Childhood Services at Wellspring Family Services, and I am also a new board member to TIPS, which I'm really enjoying because I am now engaging with the organization on a different level. So one of the programs I oversee at Wellspring is the Early Learning Center, and the Early Learning Center has been a long-standing partner with TIPS. We've been partnering with TIPS since TIPS inception, so we're one of the few organizations that have had an intern every single summer due to our relationship with TIPS. However, this past summer, we weren't able to host the intern due to the pandemic. However, we pivoted to have the intern in the other program that I oversee, which is our family store at Wellspring. So the family store is set up as a retail store for families who are experiencing homelessness to come in and shop for much needed items for their children. However, due to the pandemic, the family store is closed. And so we're in the process of being personal shoppers for families. So when families call up to place needed items for their families, staff shop for the items and get them prepared and have them ready for families to pick up. So Alex, who you will see and hear from today, was the intern from TIPS in our family store. And Alex was a really awesome intern. He was able to interface with the families when they came in to pick up their donations, also with donors who came to drop off donations. And also, Alex worked on a project for the family store, identifying other organizations that we could partner with. And so that's something that we will grow in the future. And so for the interns overall, I think it's been really great experience hosting the interns because they come in oftentimes not quite sure how their internship will be because they're coming into an organization and environment that they're unfamiliar with. And it has been really great to see the interns grow over the summer, to see them go from being shy or timid, being standoffish, to then becoming really powerful within their roles in the organization, knowing that they're helping the nonprofits to meet our mission. And so, for me, as I said, partnering with TIPS since the beginning, in particular in the Early Learning Center, has been great. Watching the interns grow over the summer, hearing in the end how much they have learned about young children, how much they have learned about homelessness, how much they have learned about child development. And for some of them, who might not have been thinking about perhaps having an interest in child development, to see them, also, thinking about that, sparking something in them. And I think the caliber of interns that I have seen have been really great, and I'm sure others will say the same as well too, because the interns they're coming in as really bright, smart, intelligent young people who are our future leaders. And so they're being exposed to situations in our community that's impacting our citizens, our community members. Oftentimes those are that are most vulnerable in our community. And so they're the ones, the interns are the ones, that will be inheriting, unfortunately, some of the issues of today, because, some of the issues of today will take a lot of deep work in order to help solve them and resolve them. And so, the interns, this is sparking sparking a light or a passion that they may have towards helping to alleviate some of the deep-seated issues that folks are facing in the community.
Thank you, Vivek. Before we move on to our next section, I would like to thank you all for joining us again today. If you have not already, use the link in the chat to enter a chance to win one of our 3 incredible door prizes, including a weekend stay at Doe Bay or a pair of Seahawk tickets. Find out more information at the link in the chat. One aspect that makes TIPS stand out is each internship at TIPS is a unique experience, and no internship is the same. Let's hear from 3 2021 interns about their experiences and what they learned from this summer.
My, thinking before has changed a lot from this summer. To be quite honest with you, I was kind of selfish in the way I was thinking and going about things. I was only thinking about how TIPS would really help me and my kind of like resume and transcript, all those things personally. And I never really thought about the other factors that might play into it. And then after going through the summer, I'm like, wow, Walala, like things are actually going to be much different for you, especially when you leave your parents' house. And just the way I just go about the world and the way I'm going to interact with people from now on is definitely going to be different from 2 or 3 months ago.
I kind of just thought it was a lot of like volunteer-based in a way. I didn't really have a good idea of what nonprofit was. Just like, oh, they like help people, I guess, is what I thought. But then once I got here and I talked with like Harley and my supervisor and Nicole, I noticed that it's like a lot more than just like a side work. It's like an actual like full-time job that people dedicate their lives to.
So I think having an organization like a nonprofit is so much more important, and having the paid internship, specifically because a lot of people will look over nonprofits because it's not paid, it's not like lucrative from that aspect, and a lot of people need summer jobs in high school. I mean, I probably would have gotten a job somewhere else and missed out on this incredible opportunity to see how great nonprofits work, and honestly, this has just propelled me further in life as like careers that I want to look at. So I think TIPS does a really great job of giving students that opportunity to work in nonprofits while also getting a paid internship, which is just phenomenal.
The mission at Langston is to kind of be a hub for Black arts and culture in the Seattle area. And my work here is kind of with social media and doing like community outreach. So currently I'm working on 2 projects. One is a summer song of the day playlist where we feature a song every day from a Black musician, which can be in our community or around the world. And I post that on, Twitter, Facebook, everything. And then I'm also working on a STEM workshop for elementary and middle school kids, also in Seattle. I think it gives teens the opportunity to really understand what they're going to be like in a professional setting. I know for me before, I didn't really know what it's like to have a job. And so letting teens have those opportunities to connect with adults in the professional way and learning about how especially nonprofit organizations kind of work and function is a very good thing to know and have that as a skill. I think that you pick up a lot of skills in these past couple months and weeks, and so having teens have that opportunity at such a young age is very powerful, and I think it will let them leave school and go into college and into their futures with a very strong foundation of what it's like to really carry themselves in a certain career or in a profession.
I work in the adoptions department, so I facilitate the adoptions, I get to hang out with all the cute pets, and I get to see their forever families. I answer a lot of questions. I advise on the animals, so I give the medical, the behavior, the past. I give that to the future adopter, and then they can go meet with the animal. From there, they decide if they want to go ahead and adopt or if they're gonna pass for now. If they go ahead and adopt, we get all the paperwork ready, we print it all out, we go over this send home packet, and we also have a little bag of goodies we like to send them home with. Then we get to either box up the animal if it's a small critter or cat, but for dogs, we just put a leash and a collar on, and then we just walk out of here. I think TIPS does such a great job of having an opportunity for both the student and the organization. From the student perspective, getting these resources and this experience is invaluable. And then also from the organization side, they're seeing the new youth, they're seeing our new ideas. One of the biggest takeaways that I've gotten through TIPS and my placement here at Seattle Humane is leadership and just being able to take charge and get those ideas done. If I have an idea on how to improve, I'm not gonna think myself out or psych myself out. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pitch her my idea. And so just pitching those ideas really just gave me that confidence to go forward. And I also love to hear what my peers also talk about, or like my coworkers, what their ideas are. And it definitely sparks more creativity in me and like ways we can improve all together.
My name is Alexander Ricuna Perez. I am interning at Wellspring Family Services, and I am working in the family boutique or the family store now. My job is to really help out with orders that families place, sort and organize the toy area, and then I also input some like general data into our database so that Wellsprings can see who they're serving, the amount of people they're serving like per quarter, and like how frequent these clients are coming to us. I was just looking to do something over my summer because last summer I kind of stayed home with like the whole pandemic. There was nothing to do and it was just a lot of isolating. And so this summer I wanted to like be more out, be more involved somehow, and TIPS just like kind of came into my life. I think that like having this like perspective change makes people more appreciative of like who they have in their life, the things that they have in life, but also kind of more prone to like being active and like trying to make some sort of change. Even like the littlest things matter, and like the littlest things do contribute to like a big cause and helping to like shrink that like big problem in our world. I would say my favorite part about like this whole TIPS experience has been like meeting new people and meeting everyone and just getting the chance to like network between like people my age, but also like seeing like my supervisor and Nicole, our receptionist, and now I just like have them in my life and like I can talk to them as well, and it just like helps me feel better.
I think TIPS makes future leaders. I think that it gives youth an opportunity to look at where they need to grow and what they're already good at. I believe, a lot of teenagers kind of go into this whole job idea with, I need to make money, this is how I need to do it, step one, step B, and all those things. But there's actually so many more ways to do that and so many different paths you can take, and TIPS gives you kind of those foundations and those skills that you need to really go down those paths. And so it makes you a leader because you already know how to do that, and you can spread that to your classmates, to your peers. And so making these future leaders, it allows them to kind of be the next generation that will want to create an impact like the organization that they're a part of, or realize something in themselves that this is what they're really interested in. I think it just gives a lot of teenagers and teens a platform to really understand what they love and how they can kind of be a leader and the head of that whole journey.
My personal journey with TIPS has been nothing short of incredible. I had the opportunity to meet over 2 dozen fellow interns to share my same love and passion for community service and outreach. More to the point though, I had the opportunity to gain a glimpse into the nonprofit world and see what it may have to offer me as I approach college and beyond. With this in mind, I'd like to introduce Kabi Kishuru, a TIPS intern alumni and current board member whose internship experience allowed her to grow both professionally and as an individual.
Hi, my name is Kabi Gashuru, and I want to thank you for joining us at our annual Teens in Public Service Fall Fundraiser. The theme this year for our fundraiser is investing in our next generation of leaders. This theme resonates with me personally because in the year 2000, I was a TIPS intern. I was 15 years old, I was a freshman in high school, and I interned at an organization called Morning Song Family Services. I remember it like it was yesterday. I worked with these beautiful children that I still remember their faces. And it was the first time in my life as a teenager that I was really exposed to many of the inequities within our community. It was at that time that a passion grew within me to really serve people, to prioritize inclusion, to think about access and ways that we could really open doors for folks who maybe doors were traditionally shut towards. Today, I am the Director of Inclusion Recruiting Programs at Netflix, and I'm very excited to also share that I serve on the board for TIPS. And I'm so excited to continue giving back to this organization that impacts teens in such a meaningful way. So will you join me in donating and impacting the next generation of leaders? Your donation will not only impact the teens that are interns like me, but it also will impact the communities around us that we serve. On your screen, you'll see a link that you can click. That link will take you directly to donate. Thank you so much for your donation, and we hope you continue to enjoy the fundraiser.
As Kabi shared, you can use the link shared in the chat or in the video description below to support internships for teens like me. Not only do TIPS internships leave a lasting impact on interns, they provide TIPS nonprofit partners with additional capacity in the summer months. We are grateful for your contribution, big or small. Before we wrap up our program today, I would like to hand it off to Camille Renaud, TIPS Executive Director, to share more about how you can get involved.
Thank you all for joining us today. We've heard many stories about how the pandemic adversely affected teens, but you might not have heard about the students who started their own nonprofits, led virtual tutoring sessions, and created mental health support groups at school. These are just a few examples of the initiatives our TIPS interns started over the last year. This summer, I had the privilege of getting to know 43 of these amazing students whose TIPS internships furthered their commitment to service. One of my favorite moments was hearing from Nisha, an aspiring computer scientist who told me that before TIPS, she didn't know how she would use her degree. After her internship learning about sustainability at the International Living Future Institute, she decided that she wanted to pursue a career working in tech for social change. Every summer, I see firsthand the impact that meaningful work experiences have on our youth. It brings me hope knowing that our next generation of leaders care about the needs facing our community. We work in partnership with Rainier Scholars, Young Executives of Color, Summer Search, Community for Youth, and Treehouse, who ensure students from their communities apply to TIPS. In addition to our partnerships, we are committed to expanding our outreach to students from underrepresented communities. Building on this, TIPS is strengthening our diversity and inclusion commitments as an organization. We have created a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee to help us examine, evaluate, and improve our practices and policies as an organization. We know there is more work to do, and we remain committed to ensuring that TIPS internships are accessible to all students who have a passion for community service. Every year, we receive hundreds of applications, and we are not able to place all qualified students at nonprofits. The worst part of our work is having to turn down students who want to serve their community. We have ambitious goals for growth, and the pandemic has not deterred us. We strive to be able to offer even more internships to our youth. We can only do this with your help. Any amount that you can give, big or small, can help us reach the next generation of leaders. You can also support us with the gift of time. If you're interested in joining the board, serving on our selection committee, or volunteering in other ways, please go to teensandpublicservice.org/invest. I would like to extend a special thank you to our chair, Joe Bretherton, who is completing his term at the end of the year. While he has been a supporter since the very beginning, over the past 5 years, he has helped take TIPS to a new level. He is our biggest advocate, and we are grateful that he has chosen to dedicate his time, effort, and resources to TIPS. I'd also like to thank our Program and Development Coordinator, Jillian, for her enthusiasm and dedication in ensuring the TIPS program runs smoothly and efficiently. With such a small staff, we also rely on our incredible community of supporters. Thank you to our board members, corporate sponsors, donors, volunteers, alumni, and nonprofits for helping us shape community-minded leaders year after year.
Thank you for joining TIPS staff, board members, alumni, interns, Ryan, and myself for TIPS Virtual Fall Fundraiser today. We are grateful you have joined us in support of teens like us committed to making a difference in our community.
Will we feel inspired after hearing about the work of our fellow TIPS interns and of TIPS's nonprofits this year? Together, we can all help to make the community around us a better place, one small step at a time. If you would like to continue to stay in contact with TIPS, Please do so by visiting the link found in the video description below, as well as in the chat.
Bye.